JJ.
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
You know what that's the sound of? That's the vocal version of the eye roll that is inevitable for the rest of the season and watching how this college football playoff is gonna play out. Okay?
You're that down on it, huh?
It's not about being down on it, my guy. It's about being hurt in the past. This is like, if you want to turn this into your own college football, like, just treat JJ and I like we're your therapists, all right? Or maybe I'll treat you like you're my therapist, my sports therapist, all right?
Okay.
Isn't that a thing now?
Yeah, no, I can do
BYU's
that.
got that guy with the mustache on the sideline. He's like their sports science guy.
Our good friend Riley Jensen is really good at that.
That's what I'm saying. I think that this is important. So this show you're tuning into is cathartic, all right?
So I'm going to pretend to be a sports psychologist today? Is that what you're going to ask me?
Hey,
to do?
JJ, who hurt you?
Who
hurt you to make you feel this way about how the SEC?
The Kansas City Chiefs have hurt me as a Broncos fan.
I already know how this thing's going to play out.
That's not topical. So
we've basically...
Specifically as it relates to in this market, the Chicago Bulls and Michael Jordan hurt me terribly.
Oh, yeah.
Magic Johnson and the Lakers in the 80s broke my heart.
Keep this going. I like this. Anybody else? Who's hurt your feelings, Annapolis, over the sports years? Who's somebody who just is like really crushed your hopes?
Broke my heart.
Just like sports abuse. That's what I'm talking about. Just like the sports abuse that you've had to endure.
What can you not let go?
Tom Brady in that 2019 Super Bowl where the Rams lost.
Oh, yeah.
That hurts. What was the score of that game, too?
It was 13-3.
It was bad. Oh, yeah.
I don't remember one thing about that Super Bowl.
McVay doesn't either.
The only reason I remember is because I'm a Rams fan.
I think McVay didn't either. I think he was hungover.
It's one of the most forgettable Super Bowls of all time.
Didn't he? That was like a real wake up call for him. He's like, I needed to change my life. I was not like present for the Super Bowl. I was just enjoying the ride, and boy, they could have beaten that. Yeah, I get it. See, for me, I have a fresh one. It's the don't. I know what you're thinking.
Save that drop.
No. It's the Mariners and the continued abuse that I've received.
Pretty significant, yes.
And I'm wearing my Mariners hat today, and I haven't worn it in like a month because it's been that hard for me. Like it was so much. Like Cal Raleigh not getting the MVP is just as hurtful to me.
But getting to a Game 7 when you've never been to a World Series and having a lead late.
Oh, they were 6 outs away in case you were wondering. 5 outs away in case you were wondering.
If you're a Mammoth fan, you got a fresh one right now from last night.
Oh my! I have stuff to say, man. I have some stuff.
Like, you know, we are truly a hockey town now, because now we know what it feels like to have your heart broken.
I've come out.
Now you know what it's like to not like your team a little bit.
I love that.
I think people really get pissed off about how the way this team's playing right now.
Oh yeah, no, there's an effort situation.
You won 7 straight games. What's going on right now?
Where are you? Why are you standing right there, bro?
That loss last night was some BS, man. Like, what did you do in the last 20 seconds? That was pathetic.
They're probably watching
Overtime,
film.
too.
Oh my gosh, the same in the last 2 games have ended the exact same way, the exact same score, the exact same fashion.
You gave away 4 points in the last 4 days.
That's crazy.
I'm serious.
I know. I guess you could count it as 2 because they got 1 out of the overtime, but that's not the same.
In both games, but it's not. It's
not the same.
Fair enough.
But I mean,
that's even worse.
The difference is right now they could have 24 points, which in this freaking division,
every point matters. And you're leaving points on the ice right now.
Gosh, I'm getting sweaty already. See? It's not good.
So even Mammoth fans have some things going on right now that they're having to process. All the feel good stuff.
You know what?
Being taken over by reality.
You know what's crazy is I'm like, ugh, put that hockey stuff on the back burner right now. It's making me too mad. We'll talk about it later. Let's talk about
the Jazz won. The Jazz beat the Bulls the other night in double overtime. Let's talk about the Jazz more.
Hey, look at us talking about the Jazz. Who'd have thunk it? Look at us talking about the Jazz, lifting our spirits with the freaking Jazz right now.
The Jazz are back.
That's where we are, lifting our spirits with a 5-8 basketball team. All right, let's jump into the program. JJ and Alex right here. Alex Annapolis, our
I'm worried
producer.
the playoff. Sorry, you want to start the show.
No, I was just saying he's already.
I'm worried the playoff committee is going to be the next fresh one for BYU and Utah.
Listen, this is why I told you, like, the scenarios we just worked out in the last, 14 minutes before we walked in here, because we're going to go through and we're going to make our own. And I asked JJ, do we make our own college football playoff rankings based off of what we think should happen? Or are we going to try to guess to get into the minds of the weirdos at the college football playoff committee? I guess we can add Mark Harlan to the weirdos of the playoff committee now. Congrats. Welcome back to the group that is going to receive so much hate over the next little while because we're watching this thing happen, and I'm just telling you right now, over the next couple of weeks, it is not going to be set up for friends of the Big 12. Your BYU and Utah fans are going to be in a real hard spot because you're going to watch other teams that you could definitely make a case for not being in front of you, being in front of you. And that's going to happen week after week after week until you can just definitively say, if you're BYU, the answer's clear. You just have to get to the Big 12 championship game and win it. That's all you have to do. That's all you have to do. What's crazy is in that scenario, they might get 2 Big 12 teams into that point because I think the committee would probably go, yeah, Texas Tech is a pretty darn good team.
With 2 losses?
I think
with
that
2 losses?
It's a different 2-loss team. I don't know why.
A
but
Texas
it is.
Tech with 2 losses versus an Alabama with 2 losses?
Oh.
See what I'm saying?
All right.
The committee would happily leave Texas Tech
Let's
out.
jump in and get it going officially here. We'll get going with the cut. Top of the program. Let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Trajan Wealth brings you this portion of the program. TRAJANwealth.com, your trusted local need in retirement. TrajanWealth.com. All right, let's jump in here, JJ, because we've got to make our own rankings here. Unfortunately, we're going to be off of the air by the time the official show kicks off. They do it so weird. They do it so weird now. They just pop around based off of some games that are going on. So every week, the college football playoff, this week they're going to be 8:30 to roll this thing out. So let's get through our own rankings here. And we decided that we're going to go through it. Annapolis, if we need you as a tiebreaker, if there's a problem and JJ and I are fighting over it, we'll need your help on this. So I want you to think about where we're going to be at here with this ranking. And let's go over, I don't care about the top 25 itself. I want to go 15.
Yeah, we're all playoff here.
Let's go 15. And I know 12 is it, but I think 15 is important because then you're getting to the next handful of people who are out, right?
Yes.
So let's look at some of these college football playoff rankings. Anything change at 1 and 2 for you?
No, they both took care of business. Nothing changes there.
Okay.
Both undefeated still. Solid on that. Obviously, you can't. Last week, I could have made a case for Texas A&M over Indiana after Indiana's close call to Penn State.
Yeah.
This week, I cannot because it was Texas A&M who had the
close
moment.
Yeah. Well, you know what's crazy about that is that they're in weird circles. They're getting a big and I told you, I said, look, that's pretty impressive to have that kind of a historic comeback.
Well, but not impressive is how you got in that situation in the first place
against
in
that
your
team.
own stadium
Against that team.
3-7, South Carolina.
Right. So I get it. I get why people might sing it. So then we're going to have a conversation right now. Will the playoff committee ding Texas A&M for a bad half of football against a bad football team?
They will not because they're still undefeated.
Okay.
And there's a line between the 3 undefeateds and the 1 loss.
Okay. Texas A&M at 3 then. We both agree.
Correct.
All right. That leaves just for one team, I think, according to both you and I, Georgia at 4 then.
Yes. Yes, I think you have to go Georgia at 4.
I don't hate
A
it.
35-10 win over Texas. And I've said this many times, I think Texas Tech should be one of those top 4 teams. I think that'll play out if they continue to win.
Okay.
But right now, it's tough to put Texas Tech ahead of Georgia yet.
I do think that Texas Tech should be the next team.
Correct. At number 5.
At number 5. And so you're comfortable with Ole Miss being behind Texas Tech, even though they're a 1-loss SEC team. Did I say that right?
Ole Miss.
You know what's funny about Ole Miss?
Let me look at their
Is
resume real
that
quick.
I actually see Ole Miss right now, and the Lane Kiffin situation, I think should play in a little bit to it. Like that. That's an interesting kind of like the committee is looking at this and they go, look, until further notice, like obviously Ole Miss, they have to keep winning. They're in the driver's seat for themselves to be able to get to the conference championship game against Georgia.
Yeah.
What do they have to play? The Egg Bowl?
Yep, they got a Mississippi State left.
They got
That's
the
it.
egg.
That's all.
They got the Egg Bowl.
And that
count
should
it.
be a dub. Yeah.
And I don't know if it's in Starkville or not, but count it, right?
So
they're likely going to be in the SEC championship game. Well, no, I say likely because Texas A&M and Georgia are right there at 10-0 and 9-1. If Georgia loses one more,
or if Texas A&M gets beat by Texas.
Now hold on, because I'll put a pin in that. Put a pin in the conversation of Texas beating Texas A&M the final game of the year. All right. Ole Miss 6 then.
Their best win is Oklahoma.
Right.
Oregon's best win is Iowa.
And Oregon is a 9-1 team in the Big Ten.
So I'm going to put Ole Miss ahead of Oregon.
And there you go, because they've also been highly ranked all season long, and that also helps, right? I look at that and I see, okay, that's what we're looking at here. Ole Miss, I think, has earned its way to that number 6 spot. I think Oregon has earned its way to that number 7 spot. Now the question is going to be, what are you going to do with the handful of the 2-loss teams that stare at you in the face now? And I say the handful because there's 3 right now. There's still a 1-loss team that here locally BYU fans are very interested in. And the unfortunate deal is that Oklahoma, by virtue of their win that they had over Alabama this week, is likely going to be in the top 10. In fact, they will be launched ahead of Notre Dame, in my opinion. They'll be launched, obviously, ahead of Alabama because they have that head-to-head.
Oklahoma will make the move up
to 8?
To 8.
I've got them at 8. Good.
Because they beat Alabama, who was previously 4.
Right.
They will make that jump to 8.
Okay. 9 and 10. 9 and 10 is going to be interesting. Do you think Alabama jumps Notre Dame or stays in front of Notre Dame?
No.
So you go Notre Dame 9, Alabama 10?
Correct.
Okay. I don't hate that. I'm on board with that.
Alabama would drop from 4 to 10.
I think that would be that could be an argument you could have though about Alabama being in front of Notre Dame still. I could see that being a 9 and 10
but
right
Notre
there.
Notre Dame just beat a ranked Pittsburgh team in their place 37-15.
Okay.
And I talked about this as a potential slip up for Notre Dame. They did not slip up at all. They were dominant in that game. The committee is going to recognize that, and Notre Dame is going to get that spot.
Okay. Next up are the 2 local teams here that I think we know. BYU at 9-1 is going to be probably 11th, and then I think Utah is going to be 12th.
Correct.
And that's just like a standard moving up. Now, here's the thing. Let's have this conversation. Well, no, let's get through the rest of the rankings here. Let me ask you this. Now you've got a handful of teams that you've got to figure some things out with, okay? Texas is now a 3-loss SEC team. The committee is going to figure out a way for them to get back, and I promise it's going to happen. Miami is still some sort of a weird darling for the committee. I think partly because they know that Notre Dame loss to Miami.
They beat Miami. Let's give them credit. They beat Miami. They beat Notre Dame.
Right.
And so that's something that's still going to give them some credibility with the committee, but they have 2 losses in the ACC, which is not great.
So here's the question, because last week in the college football playoff rankings, Vanderbilt was 14th. Do they move ahead to 13?
Correct.
Or does a team like a Miami, or even like, and I hate to say it, USC is going to get a lot of love this week, JJ.
They are.
USC is going to get the love because they beat Iowa, who last week was a ranked college football playoff team.
Yes.
My vote, can I push a vote? Can I make an argument here? The committee will put USC at 13. I think they'll put them at 13.
No, they won't.
Okay.
They won't put them ahead of an 8-2 SEC team.
We're splitting hairs on this. Okay?
I think
they will.
USC is going to make a jump. So I think BYU 11, Utah 12, Vanderbilt 13, USC will leap Miami
I think USC is going to leap Vanderbilt too. You're going to be our tiebreak here because I'm going to put my
And there's a
kids'
scenario
college
where
fund on that.
USC beats Oregon and gets into the college football playoff.
This is why I'm saying they're going to be at 13. Okay? So, Napolis, give us a tiebreak here. I've got USC at 13. He's got Vanderbilt going, but that means they have to jump from 17.
That's a big jump.
It's a big jump.
It's not like you beat Oregon. You beat Iowa.
I know, but Iowa was. I'm telling you, Vanderbilt doesn't really have a super.
Wasn't a good day for Iowa's punter, I guess.
or one of their tight ends.
Yeah.
So JJ has Vanderbilt going up from 14 to 13. I have USC jumping all the way past them to 13. Give me your vote.
I think Vandy or Miami comes in at 13 before USC.
Okay, all right. I'll allow it. But are you okay with 14 for USC?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so 13 Vandy.
And then the committee, I think, has to decide between Miami or Michigan at 15.
What's wild is they're not going to.
Georgia Tech's going to take a knock for a close game at Boston College.
Isn't that stupid? What's really funny is that you've got Texas in the mix. Was it 10, and they lost to Georgia, and they're not going to get dinged nearly as much as you'd think. And so
Where
I
does
think
Texas land?
I
That's
think
the
you have to
question.
slot Texas somewhere
15,
into that
16?
15, 16, 17. I'm going to go
Which would make them the highest ranked
Right.
3-loss team by,
I think
by a mile.
I think Miami will stay at 15. So I think you're going to see SC at 14, Vandy at 13, and I think you're going to go back. I think Miami's going to stay at 15. And then I think it might be Texas. No, I don't know if they'll put them ahead. A one-loss.
You put Texas ahead of Vanderbilt
or
Miami?
no, but I think you'll go.
They'll be tempted to.
They will be tempted to, but not yet. What you can't do if you're the committee is with a straight face have Georgia Tech behind Texas, right?
I don't think they can have Texas ahead of Michigan.
Okay. I don't hate that either.
And remember, Michigan got lucky too last weekend.
All right, so we went past 50. We flew past 15.
That's an 8-2 Big Ten team.
Okay, we flew past 15 because it's getting complicated.
Yep.
So I'm going to go. So Miami 15, we agree on.
Yes.
And then did we say Georgia Tech at 16?
I think Georgia Tech's going to get jumped by USC and Michigan. So
Well, I know, but we have USC at 14.
Texas is going to be 16. Michigan will be 17.
And then
I got
Georgia
USC
Tech
up
at
at 14.
And you've got Georgia Tech at 18?
They will drop 2
Okay.
spots.
I'm okay
the
with that.
ACC is not earning respect. And
I'm
I
okay
think
with
that Georgia Tech almost losing to Boston College was going to drop them.
All right, now I want you to consider some teams that are behind this just to look. The teams that are not in the conversation yet at all, the top 15 or in the top, I guess 18, which we went to. UVA, Tennessee's sticking around, dude. Tennessee's a 3-loss. Like, it's cool to be a 3-loss SEC team now.
They were really impressive against New Mexico State.
It's cool to be a 3-loss SEC team now. It's fine. All right. So Tennessee's going to be 20th probably, but you've got teams like Missouri that are 7-3. You've got teams like Washington that are 7-3. You've got your Power 6 team or your G6 teams in James Madison, North Texas, and probably Tulane, who will be discussed. And you'll have to see where those guys end up.
Here's some bad news for BYU and Utah and the Big 12 is Cincinnati's going to drop.
Cincinnati will
They
drop.
lost Arizona. Is there another Big 12 team that gets in those rankings because the conference credibility is on the line there?
Yeah,
right now
Houston,
it's just
Houston
the top
could,
3.
Houston could find its way in on accident.
But BYU and Utah don't play Houston.
I know, but I'm just
doesn't
saying,
help
like,
them head to head.
Here's the real problem, and here's the thing that you should be absolutely mortified by, is that when Texas A&M loses to Texas, because they're going to get the script in the mail this week from the College Football Playoff Committee, right? See what I'm saying here? They're going to get the script in the mail. Texas A&M will read it and go, shoot, we got to lose to Texas in the last game. And they'll go, we'll take care of you. All right? So
Marcel Reed's got to sit out that weekend to get healthy for the
What are you going to
playoffs.
get? A Texas A&M team who's going to lose to Texas, a 3-loss Texas team that will suddenly get launched into the top 10. Okay? And what will that do? Make it even more difficult for a second Big 12 team to get in. So there it is. That was why I came into this thing grumpy as hell. All right?
Because the reality is setting in that eventually this is just going to end up
Right.
being an SEC party and no one else is invited.
All right, we're gonna take a break. And if you thought we were a little bit frustrated, hot under the collar about the College Football Playoff Committee and how this thing's gonna roll out tonight, and we'll put our rankings up and kind of just we'll put it up against tomorrow what the actual ones end up being tonight. But we're going to come back, and frustration levels for sports fans here locally does not get helped because Cole Bagley comes in, not because of Cole, but because he's talking about the Utah Mammoth, and I've got questions. He says he's got some answers. They got done doing their podcast today, and I want to see. I'm going to dive into that thing and see where we stand with this Utah Mammoth team, who have suffered their second overtime loss in a row in basically carbon copy fashion that they did the other night to the Islanders. So we'll talk about that. Stay with us. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
The exclusive home of the Utah Mammoth is on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Upstairs it goes. Sergachev, one-timer from Cooley, and he scores! Out of the slump and into the lead. Logan Cooley breaks a goalless drought and puts the Mammoth in front. It's 2-1, and the Ducks take it. Here they come up the ice. It's Killorn. Killorn lays it back. Seneca, back door, they score. Anaheim comes all the way back to win it in overtime.
You're locked into JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah Jensen. Cole Bagley, our Utah Mammoth insider for KSLSports.com. Nice enough to walk into the studio. You guys were recording the podcast. I would imagine that you guys had some frustrated voices on the podcast as well today, I guess is a good way to put it. But what can you tell us about what this team's going through right now? Teams go through wins and losses, and trying to figure some things out here and there is one thing. I think the thing that frustrated me about this second game in a row that was basically, like I said, the kind of carbon copy we saw against the Islanders. They were up 2-1. They give up a late goal, and then they go to overtime and lose it in the first couple of minutes of, the first 90 seconds of overtime or whatever it was. And it's frustrating to watch from a fan standpoint. My kids were beside themselves last night watching this thing. We've created monsters at my house with my 8 and 10-year-olds because now that's the thing that they like the most. And so, we'll scoot you, over to your left a little bit. We'll get you on camera here. That way, we have to blur out his mouth when the cuss words start coming out. But explain to us what's going on over the last couple of games and whether or not we should be worried about a deeper issue with this team going forward.
If there's like a mini panic button, I think you can hit it right now. I don't know about like the big red one, but things are not going well over the last 10 games.
No.
I mean, they've only won 3. They're 3-5-2 over the last 10. And, like you pointed out, it's kind of the manner in which they lost these last 2 games that I think, if you're going to look, there are a lot of, like, obvious things going on. Like, the goaltending hasn't been very good. The offensive production has been very poor, which I think you can point more towards. It feels like this team is just trying to try a whole bunch of different things out in terms of their lines. They've swapped lines 1 through 3 a whole bunch of times lately. But I think the biggest thing is just consistent effort. If you've watched them even over the last couple of games, and even in the win against Buffalo, they are not putting together 45 to 50 minutes of consistent hockey. Because at the end of the day, they all talk about playing consistently for 60 minutes. That's not going to happen. It just doesn't happen. It's the best league in the world. The other team at some point is going to play better than you for a good amount of time, a good stretch. But if this team could just play 45 to 50 minutes of consistent hockey, I think they would be winning more games. Because right now it feels like it was the same last year at times. It feels like there's one period where they just let things go and the game gets away from them. And to me, when you're in year 5 of a rebuild and you've got Cooley in his 3rd full season, he just signed a contract for, worth $10 million AAV. Gunther's in his 2nd full season. He's a little bit older. He has a little bit more experience on the back end.
You start off 8-2.
Yeah, you start off 8-2. You win 7 in a row. To me, this is just an unacceptable stretch, and I really do think it comes down to effort. And you saw that last night when they're up with 10 seconds to go. They can't get a clearance. They have Ian Cole step when there's already 2 forwards in that spot. There's 2 Ducks in the crease, and they score the goal to tie it. And then in the overtime, the only player that played that rush right was Sergachev. He played it right. Gunther did not play it right. He didn't step to the shooter or to the outlet pass. Vamelka came way too far out of his net, and then Keller didn't back check. So to me, it's simply effort right now. I think is the biggest thing that you can point to and go, that's why they're not winning.
That is inexcusable.
It is inexcusable.
Because that's the one thing that these guys can control. But you talk about the mini panic button. What is the solution for this team right now? Do they need to get together and talk about this? Or like you're looking at this and you're thinking, this is not going the right direction. What needs to happen to change it or to flip things in the right direction? Is this a leadership issue? What needs to happen for this team to get back to playing the level of hockey that they were playing earlier? Now, we don't expect them to win every game, but 6 points in 9 games, we know this team's better. Who steps up and gets this team to rally and to change the effort and change some of these things and fix some of these things?
I don't see enough frustration out there. I want to see more broken sticks.
Yeah.
I want to see guys getting fired up and yelling at each other because it's too happy-go-lucky right now. It's too like, oh, well, we played good enough, but to put ourselves in a chance to win, but we didn't.
You're right, and that's why I think that last night was so infuriating. I was watching the effort at the end of the game. I wanted to throw my remote because I know they're better than that.
Right.
It was garbage.
Right.
It was bad hockey.
I want to see more frustration. I want to see them busting their sticks over the goalposts and along the boards and getting upset. Like, it just feels like, again, the effort's not there, but it doesn't feel like they're angry enough to correct it. Let me
ask you before we get you out here, because I know you're short time, I want to know what because then you get on social media and fans are insane people anyway. We go way too far. But there were a lot of people saying there needs to be a coaching change, and I thought, man, we get real wild because a week and a half ago or 2 weeks ago,
year.
Yeah, right. And so how legitimate are those types of concerns for people who look at that and go, Bear isn't doing a good enough job as a coach either?
That's a really good question. I think all the way around there's issues. I think there's coaching issues in terms of I don't know that the right guys are playing together. One of the things that we outlined in the podcast was they made some significant changes about 6 games ago. They are 1-5 since they made those changes. You've won 1 game and it was against Buffalo. So it's not really like a good team to measure and be like, oh yeah, we figured things out. No, you didn't. You played one of the bottom feeders in the NHL and you had to score 4 unanswered in the 3rd period. Yeah. So I think that's an issue. Power play is obviously an issue. I think they're at 15%.
That's brutal.
That's when you look at the coaching staff and go, guys, what's happening here? Yeah. How can you not get your team there's superstars on that power play unit? There's Sergachev, there's Keller, and then you have young stars like Cooley and Gunther and Peterka. 15% is unacceptable. And so I think that's where there's some coaching issues, but I kind of go back to the effort of it just feels like when this team decides to really play, they can play good. Obviously, and you're seeing that across every game right now, and I think Buffalo is the perfect example because Buffalo scored early and Utah kind of had their tail between their legs. It was like, oh well, we lost this one.
Jeez. And
they didn't play, but then DeSimone scores, and suddenly it's like, oh, okay, we're in it. And then they get the game tying, and then they just go off, and it was like they're playing with their food a little bit.
Yeah.
And so that's where the frustration comes from. Is this team is capable? This is not a bad team. I don't think this is a Stanley Cup team by any measure, but this is a playoff team, and they're not playing like that right now.
It's wild. Well, push people to the podcast. Where can they go listen? I know you guys fired that up. When's the next episode going to be up? Because I know you guys just finished it over here. I watched speaking of downtrodden faces, when I walked past that studio, I was like, ooh.
Mostly just Michael. I've been in sports journalism long enough that I'm numb to all these things.
You know how the sausage is made.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
especially I covered the Utes for a couple of years.
Okay, there you go. Well, this is a new shiny toy for us, and so we're getting way too invested
real
in
quick,
it too.
Before you plug, I want to stress that because it has been all shiny. Yeah. No matter what has happened with this franchise, I think this shows the growth in both the franchise and the fan base that people are pissed.
Yeah.
Fans are like, this is garbage.
Yep. Right.
We've arrived. Now you can get mad at your hockey team. It's okay. You can get mad at these guys. You can get mad at the performance because forever it was just like everyone in the world, we're so glad to have hockey here.
Right.
No, not anymore. It's not good enough. You got to go out and play hard every night for us.
There was a quote from Michael Kessering this last week he said why he missed Utah is because he could do anything and he could do no wrong.
Right.
that you don't take that as a compliment. Like now you need to reel it in. You need to be realistic.
And I think that's the maturity of this town as a hockey town. Is like we're starting to okay, what we watched last night was BS.
It is.
That's garbage.
Yeah.
We're not going to accept that. We're gonna put you on blast on the radio. Fans are going to put you on blast on social media if you come out and perform like that again. The honeymoon's over, I guess, basically.
If you went to a Canadian market,
oh man,
good night.
Yeah.
Last night, they would have burned the arena down.
Right.
Now, don't do that.
I was going to say Vancouver will.
Don't burn your bar.
Well, not just because they want a new
bar.
arena,
Right.
Insurance policy.
Cole Bagley. You can, of course, read him at KSLSports.com.
Sorry, I cut him off. You get to plug the podcast.
Yeah.
No,
Where can
I got
find
you.
it?
Utah Hockey Podcast. They just got done
on all KSL's channels, YouTube,
all the platforms.
Spotify,
You got it.
all
Let's
the
go.
platforms.
And so you can dive in and listen to how mad Michael actually is. If there's a tear shed during the podcast, you'll get why. But
and you can watch it too. 'Cause
that's
on
right.
YouTube.
There you go.
Utah Hockey Podcast. Go dip in on any of the channels we have here. Cole, thanks for hanging out, man. We
Thanks,
appreciate
guys.
it. My goodness. Hey, I got some tickets to give away. Let's give away some tickets.
Are they to a Mammoth game?
No, they're not. No, they're not. Here we go. It's a Jazz Ticket Tuesday.
Want to go watch them blow a late lead?
It's a Jazz Ticket Tuesday. Let's do it.
It's Jazz Ticket Tuesday, and your chance to win tickets is right now.
Call this number now.
Call this number now.
Be caller number 12 at 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-ZONE. And you'll be on your way to Delta Center to see the Utah Jazz.
He fires the three. He hits. Oh, don't do me like that.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jazz Ticket Tuesday, call number 12 right now, 801-575-ZONE. You get a pair of tickets to see the Utah Jazz and the Oklahoma City Thunder coming up on the 21st at the Delta Center. Hey, check it out. Tickets right now. Jazz Ticket Tuesday. We're doing it every hour here. 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-ZONE. 801-575-9663. Pair of tickets to see the Jazz and the world champion Thunder coming to town on November 21st. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got more. We got a Would You Rather right around the corner and much more. Stay right here with us, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody.
Real life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everybody, welcome back. JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Alex, Kirry, Jeremiah, Jensen. Let me ask you this, JJ. I got two Would You Rathers for you guys. Before we get into it, though, I do have to remind you. Hey, did we give those tickets away, by the way? We got more next hour, right? Yeah, man. Just Ticket Tuesday just keeps on giving. Hans and Scotty, by the way, tomorrow are going to be at Tim Daly Nissan, Southtown. 11155 South Jordan Gateway in South Jordan. Or Jordan Gateway in South Jordan. Tim Daly, the home of the Forever Warranty. It's your Cougar preview show every Wednesday. Okay, I got two Would You Rathers. I was just thinking about this, and I thought, you know what? Because we gave away the Jazz tickets. Legitimately, you have a choice to sit courtside or rinkside at the Mammoth or at the Jazz this week. Which one are you taking?
Who are the Jazz playing?
Who are they playing?
The opponent matters.
Thunder. We gave away tickets to the Thunder. So let's say the Thunder game.
The world champion Thunder. It's Jazz. Easy. The Rangers are in town Saturday, but the Rangers are not the Rangers. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the best New York Rangers team ever. I'm going Jazz actually right now.
I would just say from like a local standpoint of like our teams over here at Delta Center, like there's some real. It's dicey right now, but I love it. This is what this is part of our baptism into the world of hockey, right? Where it's like, what do you have to do along the way if you want to get serious about it? Got to get pissed at your team. Got to have some people calling for the coach to get fired on social media.
They have to let you down at some point. You have to emotionally react.
There's no team that lives through. Look, the honeymoon is over, right?
It's like that poor Jets fan that was interviewed. The boy who said, "I was born into this. I hate
this
him."
team. Yeah, we're not there yet.
That's years and years and years of being beaten down.
Yeah.
I mean, this is only year 2.
Well,
with the
generations for their family. Yeah.
Mammoth. I mean, this community's there with the Jazz.
Honestly, I think that people should. You know what we should do? You should get a mulligan. Like, you should get a life mulligan on changing fandom. Because the thing is like, no, don't give me that look.
But why why would somebody here want to change? Why would you not want to be a Jets fan?
To be a Jets fan?
No, a Jazz fan.
Oh, I thought you said Jets fan.
Jets, that's different.
It's not about that. No. I'm saying, but here's the thing that happens. It's weird. You do get born into it. Why are you a Rams fan, Annapolis? Who
My
hurt
dad's
you?
from East LA.
There you go.
See, again, family connection. All right. So then you go, and why am I a stupid Seahawks fan? Because while we were living in Dallas and the Cowboys were winning Super Bowls, my dad's all, we're Seattle Seahawks fans. And I was like, go AFC West. I bought in. I was like, Steve Largent's pretty fun to watch. Hey, we got Rick Meyer.
Well, your dad had the foresight to realize that once Jerry Jones took full control of the Cowboys, he would run it into the ground.
Well, funny thing about that,
He's
my dad
actually
was
saved
he
you
was
from
like,
years and years of pain as a Cowboys fan.
right. But see,
The Seahawks have had more success recently than the Cowboys.
but there's also the part where you're just like, think about that poor kid. Again, he lives in New York, but what about the people who live here in Utah and they're just like NFL fans of the weirdest teams ever? Because we don't have a team, right? Like, put me in that camp. We have a cajillion Broncos fans in this building.
I grew up in Wyoming. They were on every afternoon.
Listen, you don't have to justify it. I get it. It's fine.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Yeah.
I'm not riding with that guy.
Subway sandwiches. Let's ride.
I want off that ride.
That guy got in bed with the Subway sandwiches and the Broncos, and everyone was like, I hate this whole combination of things. Like, come on. But I'm telling you, there's a part of you that goes, hey, man, I wasn't really able to choose. You know? I'm not saying that I hated it, but when you do have to be loyal to a team that you were born into, it's pretty. Look, we do. I know people
Look
that.
at no one's more loyal than Lloyd in there.
Oh, but see, he wishes he had that
The
mulligan.
Raiders haven't done anything in 23 years.
If it was socially acceptable to have the mulligan, he would take it.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he freaking
Would
would.
he?
We all would. If you had the ability to bail out on a team and it was socially acceptable.
I wouldn't give up. I wouldn't give up on my teams.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I was just saying there's just no freaking way. Like, it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch. Okay. Here's my question. What would be a better environment for a college football playoff hosting place? LaVell Edwards Stadium or Rice-Eccles Stadium?
What time of day?
I'm assuming that they're going to put them on prime time. So let's think like they're both nighttime situations.
So
They both bring out the drones and the fireworks.
Here's my take. Like, the spectacle that BYU puts on is unmatched. Like, the fourth quarter thing is insane.
Which is funny because I actually saw a Utah fan get on there. They posted a video of them. They're like, this is like so stupid. It's so overstimulating. There's nothing. Look at what's going on here. And they're the guys with the fireworks coming out of the tops of the Cougar flags.
It's incredible.
The fire dancers. This week they had the Native American. They had the First Nations folks dancing with the full gear on, and they had and Cosmos in there doing flips and all this stuff. He's up at the top of the stadium. They have the fireworks going off. They got the drones going up, and these like, this is so stupid. This has nothing to do with football. And I was like,
yeah,
what?
It doesn't. You bring in a lot of casuals. You have to do that to fill 65,000 seat stadium.
Okay.
So that's what, and I'm not taking anything away from BYU fans, but the intensity and the hostility of the crowd at Utah is unmatched in the Big 12. Why do you think it's so hard to win in Utah at night? Because that place is rocking from start to finish, and it's intense, and it's a smaller venue. It's more intimate. There's something special about that place at night that makes it so difficult to play in.
I kind of agree with you because I think that I think Utah can affect a game outcome as a stadium and a crowd.
No question about it.
More than BYU does currently.
But BYU, the show they put on it's a spectacle.
No, it's entertainment.
And every time they have a game on ESPN, you get to see it on TV. But when you actually experience it in person,
but you're right. From a And LaVell Edwards Stadium gets loud. It's the loudest it's been.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not.
In the history
that's not what I'm saying.
In the history of covering this team, this is as loud as it's ever been.
The loudness factor, BYU compared to Utah gets an edge simply because it's a smaller stadium and it's just more intensified.
Yeah.
BYU's plenty loud. The Rock's amazing. The fans are great. If you're just going to compare the two experiences, those are the things that stand out to me. But both would be. I mean, bring it on, man. Bring Notre Dame or Ole Miss to Utah. So let's see how that goes. All these people say that you have no chance to get the SEC. You have no chance.
That's one thing that if you do have like a BYU team sneaking into the college football playoff and they host like a 3-loss SEC team, like you might actually get them.
you know imagine I mean? Like, Alabama having to come to Provo in December to play?
Yeah, screw those guys.
Absolutely.
Make them show up.
Make them suffer, man.
Come on.
They'd have no idea. No idea. So that would be incredible.
What's great about this is this conversation we're having right now, we're not that far off of having this scenario play out.
It will eventually. I have that much faith in both BYU and Utah's programs that eventually they're going to host a college football playoff game with that kind of scenario, and it's going to blow our minds.
Okay, this is also my weekly reminder for people to understand how freaking cool it would have been for these two teams to be playing the last week of the season. They would have Big Noon kickoff and game day in the same parking lot. Like, that would be unbelievable. Because right now you would have a 1-loss BYU team and a 1-loss Utah team right next to each other in the freaking college football playoff
spot, probably, most likely.
On the line. And instead they're going to go Ohio State and Michigan. I get it. But at the same time, but also, like, you know, the thing that happens with a game like that and not having it at the end of the year, I mean, but this is what we were hoping for. But honestly, it's happening earlier than we thought it was going to, right? Like,
yeah, I didn't expect
is it sustainable? Is it the kind of thing where they could be this good for every year? Kind of going
I think
forward?
there are bullies emerging in the Big 12, and it's Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah, and I think everyone else is just pretending.
I wonder if sustainability on like teams like Kansas State. Kansas never really turned that corner and got there, did they?
I don't know. Yeah, how does Cincinnati maintain? Is Arizona really primed to break through? Arizona State might lose Sam Leavitt.
Might lose Kenny Dillingham.
Right.
If we're being honest.
So that could all fall apart real quick, and we've seen Arizona State be mid for a long time, right? Yeah. Underachieving program.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think there's 3 teams emerging as the bullies in the Big 10, in the Big 12, and that's what you have to have compared to the Big 10 and the SEC. It's Texas Tech, BYU, and Utah, and everyone else is just pretending.
Utes Insider for KSLSports.com. Our own Steve Bartle going to join us next on the program. We'll take that break. We'll come back. We have more tickets to give away for a Jazz Ticket Tuesday next hour. Don't want to miss any of that. Plus those reports, yes, that are popping up about the possibility of Sam Leavitt maybe leaving Arizona State? Question mark? Who knows? College football is a wild space, man, for players and coaches. We'll get back to that and much more. Stay right here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.